Welcome back to the 1090 podcast. Mixing it up a little bit. I'm just going to introduce you to our guests today and then hopefully step away and listen. Very important skill, listening. I've talked a lot about talking, really haven't hit on the other side of it, which is the listening. We've had both these people on before, so if you want to listen more about their story individually, you can. The first one is Kimberly Howard. She was season 2, episode 24.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm just reading. I think I used to write the descriptions back then.
You're super good.
They're not as, anyway.
Well, sure.
Kimberly, brutal story. Kimberly lost her son, Keaton, June 28th, 2013, in a boating accident in Lake Powell. I'm sorry, Kimberly, remind me of his age. How old?
He
He's
was
young.
5.
He was 5.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to listen to her story, please go listen to it. And we also have Jen Peterson on as well. Jen and her husband Chad were getting ready for a family vacation when Chad accidentally backed over their daughter Natalie in the driveway. So another brutal story. If you want to listen to Jen, that's season 2, episode 41. And we also had your husband on, Chad.
Right.
So he's the next episode if you want to listen.
Fills in the blanks.
Yes. I guess my first question, I'll just kind of lead this thing and then I'll just back away. But I think a couple reasons I wanted to bring you guys together is I just think about your stories a lot and how brutal they are and just how you guys are doing today. And for whatever reason, that helps me. We've had you both on. It's been a while. So this progression in grief, like maybe something's changed or you've learned or you've grown or maybe it's gotten worse. I don't know. And then I think the final reason is there's just so much power in connection and finding people that have gone through what you've gone through. And we've connected as I've had you on my podcast before, but I think you guys can connect even more. And I think a really cool conversation can come from very terrible stories that you both have. So I guess my first question is, how important or how much help is it finding someone that kind of knows what it feels like or has been through it? What does that mean to you girls?
Do you want to go first or me?
I think it's different for everybody. I think that for me, so I've had since Keaton died, I've lost a nephew as well. There were quite a few people that we knew that lost children, not that long after Keaton passed, and I didn't know what to do for them either. Like I didn't know. I knew that people were trying so hard to help me with my grief and to make it better. That I knew that nothing I said was I could just say I know and I'm sorry, but I couldn't take away their grief, and that was really uncomfortable for me, I'm not gonna lie, because I wanted to be able to, and I felt like I should be able to because I've been through it, so somehow I can help, but nothing's gonna bring their child back.
Do you feel like you could adequately put words to what grief is?
Do you?
And I just don't feel like there's words in the dictionary that could adequately describe it personally. I feel like I say sad or hard or difficult, and no, I mean stubbing my toe. That's a bummer, but
Right.
like this is next level. There's no words for it.
Excruciating.
Sure, that's a start.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, we're told to mourn with those that mourn. It's not come up with something eloquent to say.
It's fair.
Come up with a good gesture, a gift, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing like that you're supposed to do. You're just supposed to mourn with them that mourn. And so whatever is comfortable or natural for you is fine. I mean, some people really feel passionate about giving a gift, that's their form of offering their condolences. That's fine. But just your mere presence, I think, and saying like, I'm here, or you don't even have to vocalize it really, right? Like, isn't it kind of like just your presence, it's communicated like.
Yes. And I feel like I can do that part of it, but I was just so acutely aware of how nothing that anyone said or did. I mean, I've come such a long way now and my perspective is way different, but in the moment,
no one can change it.
No one can change it. And the harder some people tried, the worse it was for me. It was like, please, like I wanted to feel, I'm just being super honest. Like I wanted to be, I wanted to have compassion for them. And I tried to be like, I understand that they're just doing the best they can too, because they're so uncomfortable and they don't know what to do for me. Mm-hmm. And also, and I did usually have that kind of a attitude, like, oh, they're really trying, because people said some really insensitive things sometimes. But also I just was acutely aware of like, you're not bringing my baby back. Like, you're not going to heal the ache in my body and the hole in my soul.
There's nothing anyone can say. Mm-mm. So just first off, if anyone's trying to come up with something, I would say there's nothing perfect to say that fixes it for everyone. It is just what's natural. And to just say, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. That's all
and
you can say.
And I'm here to listen. And I'm here for you if you come up with something that you think you need. But honestly, like, if I knew what would fix that pain, I would have done that thing. If I could have known what that was, I would have done it.
For sure.
So it's not that, like, there's this secret formula that fixes things that we have to divulge to people when they're suffering. I believe we just need to be there and be willing to show up, because that takes a lot to just be like, I'm in this very vulnerable state with you, and I'm just going to just be here. And I just want to just show my presence and let you feel comforted. Mm-hmm. Because there's no fixing it, and you are going to struggle and go through it, and that is the right way. That is, in a way, fixing the pain. So you learn how to manage with it later in life. I don't know. I think, but I think there's things that I will say 100% from my perspective I didn't appreciate. Some of them were definitely like online comments where people like would attack like my parenting. Like, oh, of course.
Shoot, you should.
I didn't think of that. If I was just safer.
Same.
Oh,
yeah.
Of course.
He should have been wearing a life jacket.
Yeah, you don't think that like, well, he was.
He was.
Right. And then I have like, and for my own peace of mind, like having a video where Natalie's repeating, we wear our helmet. We only stay in our circle. We watch. Like, she knew the rules. Sometimes, even against all protective measures, accidents happen.
Mm-hmm. They do.
And so I think when people are just so insensitive to almost like excuse that like they wouldn't experience that kind of a pain because they know better than I do, is so counterproductive. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand the purpose of people making comments like that, but they are so hurtful. And I think that that's kind of like a gruesome thing that somebody would desire to share something that would hurt someone that's already hurting plenty. Yeah. And so it's like, what is that German phrase? I'm going to botch it. Something like Schadenfreude, something like that, Schadenfreude. Mm. But it means to like take pleasure, to delight in someone else's misfortune, their pain. And so I think you see that sometimes where people will say things and so that was one thing I definitely was like, just if you have those opinions, feel free to keep them to yourself. Like, we don't need more pain or hurt. So that'd be one. I know some people are trying to say things that are useful. Like, I know how you feel. I had a miscarriage once.
Right.
Like, never compare. Can I just say mine?
In general,
yeah,
never compare.
Yeah, mine is not yours. That everyone's is so individual, and I think that you should never compare. You can say, "I feel for you. I know that must be like I can't imagine." Those are great things. Like I can't imagine what you must be feeling.
Yeah,
my heart hurts for you, right? But to say that, like, I know how it is. You don't know how I feel to be me, right? It's rude, but I think that I also realize those people typically, when they're saying something like that, aren't looking to hurt you and say, like, it's the same as mine.
No,
I stubbed my toe. We're the same. It's not the same. But I do know, like, I can have enough foresight to say, they mean well. They're trying to do something nice. That's sweet. But I didn't.
I don't think I ever really took it personally, and I think maybe I misspoke on that. I didn't take it personally because, again, I knew that they were trying
coming from a good place.
Yeah, they were coming from a good place. I do have a question for you, though. I'm curious. Something that used to kind of, I'm going to say not trigger a little bit, was that all the people that were like, aren't you glad he's in a better place? And on one hand, yes, of course. And on the other hand, no, I wish he was here with me. It used to like.
But did anyone say that actually had lost a child?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no.
That's all I'm saying.
No, just people.
Of course.
No, of course. Yes. Yeah, no. Because someone who lost a child would never go, Jen, I'm glad.
Again, another one to add to the list.
Right. Don't say that. Like,
don't
no.
Say they're in a better place.
I want
the
my
better
baby
place
back.
is in my arms.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want my opinion, it's right here where that's my better place. Like, clearly, like, that's okay.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree. That is another one that's not useful. I do feel like sharing things that were helpful are going to be good. So some things, I think Mason and I had kind of talked about that a little bit. Like, what did you experience that you felt like you appreciated? Obviously, Brad, Bailey, like. So
yeah, well, I mean, that altered my life.
The reason that is so significant, too, is Brad wasn't doing it for the accolades.
No.
He wasn't posting this online to be like, look at what a good guy I am. I'm doing these nice things. He did it purely because that is who he is. He just wanted to offer his condolences, his love for strangers that he was touched by. And I find that so beautiful. It's so much more than the bear. And even him showing up on his cool motorcycle and being so kind like that. I think it's the gesture of like, I am here for you and truly mourning with you.
Yeah, that was definitely. And at the time, he didn't even know what he was doing.
No.
So yeah, and it was like a miracle for me. It really was. So I think one thing that I would say is further on down the road, when it's quiet and the hubbub has calmed down and you're months and months and the silence in your home is still so silent, even when it's so noisy. There's just like this silence. We talked about that a little bit. And to still be checking in. And then to still be checking in the next year and the next year.
Now.
And right now. And yeah, exactly. Remind me how long it's been since.
Almost 11.
Okay.
years,
Okay. So similar timing because it's been 12 for me. So yeah. And maybe even being, I don't want to make it about me because I really also am very cognitive of the fact that, like this year he would have graduated from high school. And so I watched.
He'd be a senior?
Yeah, he would have.
Oh, he would have graduated it. Oh.
Yeah. So I watched his friends graduate online, which I don't want to take away from their happiness and so great. And of course you know what I mean? But I don't know, maybe being aware. My sister-in-law, obviously, that lost her son. They were the same age, so he
They
would have
would've
graduated
graduated.
this year too. And so she of course reached out and we talked about it and stuff. But just like the milestones, like maybe. But see, how do I ask someone to be aware of me when their children are graduating from high school and they've got their own lives and they're doing their own thing and I don't know.
Does anybody go like, I need A, B, and C at this time, and so that'd be great if people could come and like do these things.
No,
for
I
me.
wouldn't.
Nobody
would
ever.
never. I would never do that.
No.
No.
I mean, maybe some people do that are like definitely trying to take advantage, but I would say that the majority of people that are struggling will never ask for what they need.
Yeah.
Which is kind of hard because you kind of have to be a mind reader. But I think that's where people like Brad come in, or at least his thought process, because he just followed promptings, right? Like surely Keegan's like, hey, listen, I know you're going to listen to me. My mom really could use a hug. And like, I know you'll do it. So would you please go see her? And so I just feel like, bless those people that are willing to like face that and just be brave to show up at someone's door that they don't know, that could have rejected them or been angry with them or whatever. He, was willing to be brave and show up and do that for you. And I think that is how it's satisfied. Like sometimes we can't voice it, but that is something I feel like our loved ones do. So I try to be cognizant of that when somebody comes in and offers something, like, I don't know why I'm here, but I just randomly was thinking of you, or in a text. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything elaborate where you spend a long time, but just a little simple text. I mean, I get ones about like the sunset and when it's particular colors that remind my friends of like my daughter. And just knowing that they're thinking of her too, because like Natalie's always on my mind. She's always there, and bringing her up isn't going to all of a sudden hurt me and make me feel like I'm, lost again. It's not going to cause me pain. I would prefer people to bring her up, and if they're thinking of her, to say that, like, let me know that you're thinking of her too.
I agree with that.
So.
I love talking about him, and again, I think I've mentioned before that now I connect with him more in love and light anyway. So it is joyful to talk about him, and to laugh about the cute things he used to do, I do have good friends that his name means where hawks fly. So there's like,
What is it?
It means where hawks fly.
Oh, where hawks fly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so hawks or feathers and I don't know if you see numbers on the clock every day that remind you, like 1111 is mine. And so so my friends will text 1111.
We're twins.
And that's just like,
because that's her birthday. Natalie is
Oh,
11
it is?
11 11.
Oh my gosh.
Which I didn't even
amazing.
know it was angel numbers until like long after.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but it to us, I don't know if it's the same for you, but that like just texting 1111 means like I'm thinking of you.
Yes.
It means I love you.
Yes.
It means like we're
I see
unified.
you.
There's connection there,
Yeah.
right? And it means all those things in those 4 numbers.
Agreed. Yeah, I love that. So yeah, just little things like that, I think. And the other thing that I was thinking about on the way over, when I was just wondering like what I would want to say or what we could talk about, was like, how has it changed over the years? Like,
Oh my goodness.
like I'm so surprised at the moments. Like I honestly don't cry a lot anymore. I don't over that. Like I said, it's more love and light, and I feel him with me. So it's like, I can, I talk to him and all the things, but every once in a while, like randomly, it just pops up again, and I'll have a good cry and like go on with my day. And it's just interesting to me that, like I said, I can't describe it as anything but random. I mean, of course, like on his birthday, or like the anniversary and stuff, that of course those days bring up stuff. But like I was at a concert last night, and there was a song that
Music.
yeah. music.
Me too.
That and I'm sitting there at this concert bawling my eyes out, like kind of feeling a little random about that, but why, So I'm just wondering like how the grief has changed for you over the years? Like how, if it's shown up any differently or not really?
I think it's definitely different because in the beginning you're like, what is this new feeling, right? Like, so you're caught off guard frequently. And I think until you become familiar with it, it's harder. It takes longer to process. So I'd say in the beginning, it like definitely would throw me for a loop and I would struggle to regain composure or participate or even just thoughts. Like I just was like a zombie almost.
Well,
Sometimes
that's grief
depending on what
brain
happened.
anyway, right? You can't.
I mean, it is, but I think over time you develop the skills to be able to function while it's going on. You're just like a multitasker, I guess, and able to function with it a little bit better depending on the scenario. But yeah, like my kids are watching some Netflix show, something like D-pop or something like that.
K-pop, Demon Hunters.
Okay, thank you. Whatever that is, Demon Hunters, thank you. And
I mean,
it was so funny. Like some of the songs in there, they're just like, this is who I am. It's like some of those things just so resonated with me. I'm like sitting there crying at a cartoon and I don't, I mean, maybe Tangled was the last time I cried in a cartoon, but like it doesn't happen often for me. Right?
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's legit. That's really
That
nice.
is legit.
I like it. Oh, chameleon. I love it.
Awesome.
Anyway, so.
Yeah.
I did want to say though, there were some things like I said, if some people want to bring a gesture, I would tell you there are some things that I did appreciate. Some people, I had a cousin who brought me a dog that was pink and we called it Nata Dog and she told us like the dog was special. It was, a dog that you could hold and give a hug to, and that dog would be able to give that hug to Natalie. So when you're missing her, you could give her that and through the dog. And then if you had a message you wanted to tell her, like you could talk to the dog and the dog would give Natalie the message. And what I found, and she, went on to tell me, like, as a parent, like, it's super helpful because you know which child's struggling at what moment. And those kids fought over that Nata dog. I still have it.
That's so
It's
cute.
very ratty now, but it's just things like that I think are really sweet. And so, I don't know. It's just, I've carried that on. Like, things that I enjoyed, I feel like I like to do that for other people that have littler kids and are struggling. Like I will do something similar.
That's a really
whatever
good
fits them, like a grief gorilla. Like we've done
I was
this.
just gonna say you gave Blue and I that grief gorilla.
Yeah.
Well, 5.
I like rewrote a poem for it because I was like, I need to write it out because I don't think I can articulate it right in front of someone's face while I'm bawling. So
that's awesome.
I'll just do it this way.
Yeah, we love it. We use it.
I love it.
It's
good.
great for kids.
So so that was one that I think was awesome. The same cousin later came to visit me, which again, it's so nice to have people come after the fact at any point. Like it's never too late to show up and say, I'm thinking of you or anything or of them, of your loved one or ones. But she came back again and brought a laundry basket full of plates from DI. And she was like, when you hit that angry stage and you just need to, and maybe this is why it never like became a huge problem for me, is because I knew I had an outlet ready and prepped. I had this basket full of dishes I could go take out and just smash.
Your cousin's kind of brilliant.
Right? I love her.
Yeah.
She's awesome. So anyway, so that was super helpful too. Other things people did instead of like, because my children are so particular about meals as much as I appreciated the meals, it was either better to just like I'm fine. I can order like that wasn't really an issue. And frankly, right after I had zero appetite.
Same.
I think I lost like 20 pounds and was like skin and bones.
Yeah.
I didn't have that to lose, but I was too sick to eat. So you can bring mac and cheese to my kids and I like, that's totally fine if that's what you want to do. But also people that had brought like paper goods was super nice because I'm like, those mundane things like doing household chores, I just kind of felt like this is stupid.
I did have
She's
people
gone
come in and clean.
I'm sweeping the floor still. Like I still, this seems,
right? It's surreal. It's like, oh my gosh,
stupid.
my life is still going on. It is stupid.
Yeah.
Like this stuff doesn't matter what is happening. No, I
I'm
totally
gonna just
agree
let
with
the
that.
dust collect because it feels so insignificant to spend my time that I'm still here so I can dust.
Yeah.
Like Anyway, so people that would help alleviate some of those mundane things like dishes with paper goods, I think that was also really helpful.
People who like took the kids to go do stuff too.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
that was huge.
The younger kids. Like I feel like a lot of my maybe like quicker progression through grief came, and I don't know, Mason might relate or not, I don't know, but having a younger child, I think was what I needed. I think that I would have done nothing. Maybe I'd still
I
be
did
in
do
bed.
nothing.
No, but I'm
No, I
saying
did.
10, 11 years later, I might still be in bed. I don't know that I would have gotten up and done anything because I had zero reason. Like I was laying like on the hospital floor, just like laying there thinking like my life feels over. Like everything that I had hoped for our family, like it's fractured. It's so broken and there's no fixing that. And so I just remember like repeatedly just saying, what do I do? What am I supposed to do now? Like just feeling so lost and like so alone, even though people are like, I mean, they're here, I get it, but like I just there's a level of loneliness you experience when you lose someone that I just don't think that you can. I don't know why I put makeup on, goodness. Who am I fooling? But oh, thank you. And you were prepped and I just didn't even see it. Thank you. Oh, see, he knows I'm gonna cry more. The big box. I know, but I got the big box. I'm just teasing. Oh, sorry. Anyways, I just really appreciated people that would do whatever they were comfortable doing. I also didn't, and you might feel different, but for me, I'm not a huge flower lover, but especially after losing her, having flowers die too.
Yeah.
Like, that was just another thing. And another sign that, like, this time had passed, right?
Time has passed. Exactly. I was
And
just
so
thinking that.
I would say, like, if you want
it's been a week now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to give flowers, either at least give a potted plant, but chances are, like, I'm barely taking care of little things that I need, let alone a plant.
Yeah.
So even I think fake plants fine too if you have to give a plant. I don't know why that's the traditional thing. Do you like wonder that ever? Like, why do we give
That's
flowers?
a good question. I mean, I love flowers, but
I mean, I'll take food though, but maybe that's because I'm a foodie. I don't mind flowers. I'm just saying that I'm not.
no. But in that situation, I had the same. I had the same thought.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
So, and when my dad passed away, my dad actually passed away from COVID in 2021. And so I took some of those things and applied them as far as like his flowers for his funeral. We did like fake flowers for part of one of the like wreaths you do. And so my mom has it on her front door now.
Oh, that's cute.
So it's just kind of like a neat way to, because I mean, it's expensive anyways. Like people spend an absorbent amount of money sending flowers, and I feel like you don't need to do that. I think there's more beneficial things that you could do than give flowers, but I don't know. Yeah. So those are the few things I was thinking of that I felt like were useful. And definitely there's some books that people gave me that I was like, oh, this spoke to me. But just because it spoke to me doesn't mean it's going to speak to you.
I think that that's a really great point, that like everybody's journey is so different. And I notice you keep saying, maybe this doesn't resonate for you, or maybe you guys feel differently. And chances are we do. And maybe, I mean, I haven't heard anything that I didn't agree with yet, but
okay.
But
well, if you do speak.
No, not at all. Well, I would, because that's the thing. Grief is such an individual journey. And I think, I don't know, I'm interested to hear how you and Chad did together. Did you?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because Scott and I, we grieved so differently.
Well, we do. I don't know anyone that's like, oh, we simultaneously.
Right, exactly.
Right?
That's
like,
fair.
Nobody
But even the style of it, though, was different for me. Like, I was isolating, and he wanted to be out and grieving with everybody, and he was trying to help me, and it was annoying me, and like it was a whole thing. And my brother and sister-in-law have said the same thing. Like, my sister-in-law's like, he just isn't doing this and he's doing that and whatever. I'm like, just, you got to give yourselves, each other, grace, because it's so different for each person.
But you're saying he didn't allow you to have grace as far as how you grieved differently?
He just needed so badly for me to feel better because I crashed so hard. Like I crashed
Don't
so
you
hard.
think is like the like cliche kind of typical male role as like the
And to
provider, the
fix it.
protector,
Mhm.
right? Like
Yeah, for sure. He wanted to save me from it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
I
dig
gave-
at him.
yes.
If you're struggling, it's like he's not doing
Yes.
enough to help you, right?
And we did figure it out. Like we
good.
had there was a point where I just said, you've got to stop. And it really hurt his feelings. And then he went and thought about it and came back and said, okay.
But that is
like,
the
we
most
can-
loving thing you could have done. Did you
Yeah.
know? Like, I think that a lot of the times, and I definitely was someone who did this until I knew better. You know better, you do better. But basically, communication is so vital.
Mhm.
Why that's not a course in like high school before you graduate is beyond me. Because
Yeah.
I feel like it's applicable in every setting. Like, we should know how to communicate appropriately. And so you're not being more loving by not saying something and keeping quiet. If there's something that is bothering you, like, speak up. And it might hurt people's feelings, but I think you try and share it as tactfully as you can and then let them decide how they're going to respond to it. But not saying something,
Yeah.
why? Why do
Yeah.
we do that?
Well, I didn't want to hurt his feelings. So I was trying to and I wanted to respect him. And also I was so deep in my own grief that I just didn't, like, I just kind of was apathetic probably at that point. But then
numb.
it just got annoying.
But I think
I'm
that's
not going to
fair.
read that book. I'm not going to read it. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I have no desire to. I'm trying to shut my brain off. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
Like, and I really did. I mean, I was not okay. Like, I was not okay for years.
Don't you think that would be a problem, though, if somebody was okay right after?
Yeah, for sure that. But I'm just saying, and I guess what I'm saying it that way just because, like, again, everybody grieves differently, obviously. But if there's anybody that may be listening to this conversation, that's like, I need it. Cause I had expectations for my grief. I really did. I had expectations.
Did you have expectations for your future, though? I mean, you can have expectations. but I
Right.
feel like
Yes.
you
And
can't tell-
and I'm not saying that was right or wrong, but but when the timeline didn't match up, and also grief it's not linear. It's not like, okay, today I'm going to feel a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm fine. And the next day I'm like down and out again. Like, it's so like
Ebb and flow.
Yeah. Ebb and flow. And it does. And it, like we talked about this on the podcast that I was on, like, it comes and goes in waves, because otherwise, like, as excruciating as all that grief is, like, if it came all at once, I don't know that my body would have withheld. I think I would have been crushed by the weight of it, and I probably would have expired. Like, it is just so excruciating. And so, but I guess that knowing to not have expectations on it, knowing that to just let it ride, like, literally all you can do is let it ride. And,
For sure.
and do the best you can. And you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. And the good days don't mean that you're not grieving. And the bad days don't mean that it's going to be that way forever. But just like, you just got to let it ride until one day you wake up and you're like, okay, this is okay. Like, the time between the crashes gets a little bit longer and a little bit longer and a little bit longer.
Yeah.
A little bit
So
longer.
where you can tolerate
where
it
you can
more.
tolerate it more. So anyway.
So I think you did it right. I don't know what you're saying.
No, I did. But I did do it right. What I'm saying is that the expectation of it is what was disappointing me. Like, I kept going,
Of your own
it's my
expectation.
own expectation. Yeah.
Okay.
And then there are people who, and maybe, I don't know if it was my empathic self that could feel people who needed me to be okay, like, needed me to say, oh, I'm doing better. Like,
Yeah. How are you?
How are
That's
you?
the worst question you can ask somebody.
okay,
that's
let's
grieving.
just start with that.
Let's not
Don't
say,
ask them
"How
how
are
they're
you?"
doing.
Say, it's good to see you.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's all you have to
exactly.
say. It's good to see
It's
you.
good to see you. Yeah.
That's
Because
it.
how are you?
Yeah, that
And
grief.
you're just
and,
looking
you
like
want
that,
to know.
that pause between stimulus and response where you're just like, okay. Okay.
They don't mean it.
They don't mean
They
it?
don't mean it. They don't really want to
They
know.
don't really want to know. Yeah.
No.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah. So good to see you is a really good one.
Yeah, that is
I've
good.
been thinking of you.
Yeah. Or just
What's
don't say
new?
anything at all.
Anything? Yeah, but don't
No,
ask.
maybe not what's new.
Even what's new. I mean, but I'm just saying, like, don't ask.
How are you?
Unless you want the answer. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like
Some
I'm happy
people
to
do,
give
though.
the answer. Yeah,
Some
people.
people
I mean, because people ask me like, how many kids do you have? And it's always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, I only see 6. Like, you say you have 7. Like, they're confused, and I'm like, well, So I have to decide, is this person the type of person I'm going to explain this to?
Are they
or am
worthy
I
of the
just going to give
explanation?
them,
6.
Like, because once you tell them, yes, I've lost a child, and then they're just like, caught off guard, and I feel like it's unfair. I like
kind of
weaponize that conversation a little bit to make it, uncomfortable. And so, I mean, there was like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, me too, right? Like, I just feel like, depends on the setting.
Yeah. For the most part, I don't start with that unless
if someone asks you how many kids you have.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I guess they're all older now, and we were blended. So it's like, so I can say, oh, we're a blended family. He had 5, I had 1, and he adopted mine, and we had 1 together.
Depends on the mood, right?
The mood.
Sometimes I'm like, I want to talk about her, so I'll tell you.
I'm like, how old are your kids? And I'm like, well,
it's a tough one too.
It's a tough one too. Yeah.
Like forever 2, almost 3. So it's hard, but I don't know. That is a tricky one for sure. But yeah, I'd say like Chad and I we grieved completely different to answer that. Like, I think that he compartmentalized because he still had to function.
Absolutely.
And because I was broken and he could see that. And we still had an infant to take care of. And so I think that we both kind of fell into our respective roles and just like, we didn't really talk about it a lot, right? Like between him and I to this day, don't really enjoy going to the cemetery.
I don't either.
Like some people like, I go there and I just read. And I've never, it's not that I have a bad feeling there. It's not like that. But I just feel like my visual of it is like her body is there, but she's not there. And so I haven't gone there. Like specifically, I did like a lot in the beginning trying to just like, okay, maybe it'll get easier, but it just never has for me. My mom loves going there and we'll talk about it, but like, you go ahead and go. I'm not coming with you.
I literally put flowers on there for like memorial and his birthday or
I couldn't even go for Memorial Day this year. But she knows that. So it's like, because she knows I struggle with it, she'll go and do that. Nice. And I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's just so different. But yeah, I think my husband, like, I've gotten to the point where I can look at her picture and like, it does make me happy. But like, I don't know that it's like pure like happiness every time I see it. There's always like still such a sting there. Not like in the beginning. Like at first I had my good friend like take my phone and like erase everything essentially so I could just focus on like what was right then, right? Like I wasn't living hour by hour. It was like second by second, just trying to get through that. And so I couldn't like risk getting bombarded with a picture on accident, right? So I had to like I'd ask her like, send me this month. I do want to look at this month, or I'm looking for this in particular. And so she was really sweet to like help me with pictures. But yeah, I definitely struggled with those. And then I kind of got where like I can look at them now, but I don't typically, it's not often that I'm going to look for her like old pictures very often. It's a couple times a year I'll look for them. But I don't know, maybe some people just like want to keep reliving and live the past. And
I think the only thing that makes me sad now about the pictures is that there's just so few of them.
Yeah.
And I've seen them all. And there's no more coming.
Yep.
And every once in a while, like I don't post pictures of him a lot. Hardly ever, actually. I'm probably once or twice, maybe.
There's no rules on that, though.
That's no, fine. There's not. But part of the reason is like, well, I've already put those up. Like, that's it. Like, that's all there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that they're. And also, I feel like, I don't know. I like them when they come up, like on my memories and stuff.
Yeah, I can handle it now, but I'm just saying in the beginning, it was just very, very difficult. And
I think I was the opposite. I think I needed family, like I needed pictures up. And we had gotten family pictures taken like a week before he passed.
Yeah.
That happened with my dad too. We had family pictures taken like the month before.
That's so crazy, Kate. Maybe you don't get family pictures.
Right, that's kind of like we don't get family pictures anymore. Right?
Don't do anything fun. Live in a bubble and you'll be fine.
Yep.
I mean,
don't be too happy.
Oh, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I think, and it is just so different because, like, Chad, he didn't want to see anything ever for a really long time. So he, like, processed a lot of those harder stages of grief later when I was already done with those,
Yeah.
I felt like.
Okay, so what about that? Like both, like Chad was driving the car, Scott was driving the boat. Like these men
I feel like that's something good to bring up. These
that
poor
have
men.
these poor men. And it literally, I remember having a conversation with Scott, and I feel like it was further down the road. And he was apologizing to me. And it took me aback because I couldn't fathom ever blaming him.
But it's so common. I think that is really common.
It is. I guess I can conceptualize that it is. It just didn't, because I knew how much he loved Keaton, and I knew how careful he was anyway, and I knew how, like, I just couldn't. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, because it would be easy to put the blame on him.
It didn't happen for you.
It just didn't happen for me that way. But my heart still hurts for what that must feel like for them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can't wrap my brain around that.
Chad had some friends reach out, and I really appreciated that. Like, usually the husbands of the girlfriends that I had were reaching out, probably because their wives were like, hey, you should check on Chad, right? Like, make sure he's okay. So I appreciated that, but I feel like men aren't like, come here, like, can you come here? Let's give you a hug, right? Like, they talk about it so different. And so, I don't know. I think, like, yeah, just bringing her up and just kind of like checking in on them is absolutely just as crucial as the women.
Yeah, for sure.
That experience it. But yeah, so I'm appreciative of people that tried to do that and loved him as he struggled through it, because we all choose different ways to function through it. Like, we're trying to alleviate the pain, all of us. It's like, our need is to feel better. We were trying to feel better, not because we don't want to remember them. We want to erase any of that. We're just trying to function, really. Mm-hmm. So everyone, I think, picks their own avenue of what they think will bring the best relief. And I think that there is judgment there, where some people are like, why are you sleeping? Why are you not eating? Right? Like, people would criticize me for that. And I'm like, I am sick to my stomach. You don't
I can't put food in my body.
Yeah. Or then, like, for my husband, just like medicating. He medicated through it. And that didn't obviously take it away. Neither did the lack of eating. It didn't take it away. It was just the format chosen. And obviously over time I realized, like, okay, I do have to actually push myself to do these things. And eventually I worked through that, and I'm still alive today. So clearly I'm eating food. But my husband, I think it definitely brought up some of his past, which he talks about. And that was really, really hard for him. And I think that people, judged him unfairly for the way that he struggled. And I think, I think I was able to have a lot of empathy for him, because it was almost like I could excuse his struggles.
Of course.
Right? Like, if that's what you need to do, like, I get it. And I feel like that's something, like, I feel like God does for us too. Like, I don't feel like he sits there and, is trying to, like, add guilt and shame to us. We already do that to ourselves all on our own. I think that he is understanding of why we're struggling and what we're doing. I think that what the more important thing is do you let that define you, right? Like, or are you going to eventually shift and keep trying to do better? That's what I think. What's your intent? Is it like permanently you just want to numb? You don't want to feel God's presence close to you? You don't want to progress or feel better in a healthier, happier way? I think that means something different than someone that's just like, this is too much for me and I'm going to try this because I just need a little break, right? So, yeah, I definitely think trying to remove as much judgment as you can for whatever way somebody grieves is definitely the right thing to do. But I do also, I feel like there should be some boundaries to a certain extent, because people that are like, well, I just don't parent my other kids at all anymore. Like, I just literally, all I can do is lay in bed. Like, nope, you need to get up. If it's that overwhelming, you know, you've developed an addiction, you've developed some sort of debilitating whatever, you need to advocate for yourself and do the right things to bring yourself, whether it's going to, you know, a therapist or going to a doctor, getting out of your house, like whatever you need to do to try and work through it so that's not a permanent state, right? Like,
Yeah, I think my kids would say that I abandoned them for a little while.
I mean, I think I don't know that anybody who has experienced grief hasn't abandoned roles they needed to have. I think that's very normal.
I think there came there's a point where it isn't doing you any good to do that. I mean, I know we went. Is your memory like kind of hazy around that time too? Like there are things that
my kids will bring things up and be like, "You never let us stay up this late, but then after Natalie, you would." And I'm like, "Yeah, I felt like I was super strict with her. I learned better that maybe it doesn't matter."
Yeah.
Right. So there are definitely things that I let go.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Well, no, I mean more like I have blanks in my memory around when I was grieving. Like I have flashes of like I knew. It just, some of it feels kind of foggy to me.
But do you feel like, I feel like that's kind of a protective thing that our body does 100%. For ourselves.
Yeah.
It's kind of like similar to even the day of the accident. Like I have a lot of things that are very vivid I'll never forget.
Same.
But I think certain elements of it are forgotten, and thank goodness they are, because I don't want to, I'm even childhood things. Like I feel like things should be left in the past sometimes, and that's okay. Like it's a gift that we've forgotten.
Yeah. But I just think that during that time, I kind of lost my train of thought about that.
You were saying your kids struggled.
Just like, well, no, they just like, I mean, I did the best I could. I know we did therapy. We had the kids in therapy. I mean, they were there when the accident happened, so and I just feel like, though, the day-to-day, it took me a long time. I think at first, actually, I did better, and then as time went on is when I kind of started to, like, really, it hits you in a different way. Like, you kind of are...
I neglected this thing?
No, like when it first happened, the accident first happened, I want to say, like, in the weeks following, and I don't know how long that happened, but I was like, okay, and kind of was like, okay, you're kind of in autopilot mode, I guess, for a minute, and the survival mode. And then as time went on is when I was like, oh, like, I think I crashed a little bit further. I think it was probably not right away. It was a little bit, like maybe within a month or something, because people would be like, oh my gosh, you're doing so good. And oh, you know, you're like, and I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm doing good. Okay, this is, okay, great. And then it was the months after that I was just like, I don't even care about anything, actually. So Cafe Rio it is again.
I think that's fine. I think that is a continued issue. Not even issue. It's just something that I've learned to accept, that I do things differently now. Mm-hmm. Some things better, some things worse. I don't even know if you can rate it like that. Just different probably is a better word for it than good or bad. But I feel like I'm more, I'm willing to repair. And that's the difference. I think, like, I'm willing to go and make things right if I haven't been doing whatever my, like, specifically this probably more relates to my kids, just because they have their own opinion of what they want me to do or have done differently. And so I'm very passionate about like repairing things because I know I'm going to keep messing up. I'm not going to keep doing it. Like so far at 40 now, I have not ever done anything perfect. And so I'm going to have to I've just gotten better at apologizing.
Yeah.
And learning to
taking
like,
accountability.
Yeah. Like I
think our kids appreciate that too. Like I
think it's an important thing to model.
Yeah, I agree.
Like this is when you struggle, it's okay to struggle, but it's also okay to go back and say like, I didn't do my best. You needed more and I couldn't do that for you. And I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I want to do better. Like now I'm going to keep, right. Yeah. Like it's like intent there instead of, because I do have some friends that I'm like, wow, like you let this like still to this day, it's still holding you back from getting like the help or, because it takes some bravery to kind of face those fears and discomfort and gain a little bit of control back around grief. Because I think some people, if you're boundaryless in grief, you feel like you can justify any bad behavior. I'm grieving. I can do this. And I think that is abusing what grief really is. Is this really grief? And if it is, that's fine. Or is it your lack of interest or desire to change and find a better way, right? Like I think it's fine for a time.
About that, like specifically in the right and the wrong and the right way to grieve, because that's a really common one that you hear.
It's just different. I don't think that right or wrong. I think it's just different.
Yeah. And so, you mentioned Chad, your husband, and I do think it's important to note that if you haven't experienced intense grief like the both of you have, I think it's probably a good thing to note past coping mechanisms that you may have established in your life, because the likelihood that you will return back to a like physiological safety through those coping mechanisms are pretty high.
Yeah.
And so if you have loved ones that know about these coping mechanisms, obviously like Chad would be a good example that people weren't giving him grace around a past coping mechanism, and it's not right or wrong. He may have needed those things in that moment to survive. But what was it that made Chad like tip over? Was it him getting vocal about, hey, I returned back to the pills?
Well,
or was it you noticing the disconnect?
This is a lengthy question. Okay.
Yeah,
that could be really another podcast. That's okay. I just want to, I'm very open about these things because I feel like it's useful to understand the full picture. I think it's not like very pretty to talk about. Like, I think could be embarrassing, but I think it's very important to understand that, like you said, like Mason, I'm pretty sure you told me you studied psychology or are a psychology major. Is that correct?
Yeah, from Dixie State.
Fancy. Okay. Yeah. Well,
big time.
Well, I definitely think that is an element at play. Like we talked about, communication a little bit here, but I think like not having a good foundation for good communication and good boundaries, good healthy boundaries prior to a large life event like this, I think is a huge catalyst in what your outcome will be. So I would say that's probably one of the first few things that would be useful tools to understand are like how to communicate appropriately, how to apply appropriate boundaries. And then also, I think that's why the psychology I find so fascinating, because we have within ourselves that ability and like power to alleviate a lot of the pain based off of like how we think about things, like CBT, like the cognitive behavioral therapy. Basically, the theory behind it, have you heard of that before? So basically your thoughts develop these feelings, right? So I am not good enough, or I'm whatever that is. I'm not good enough. That thought might lead to a feeling of worthlessness, like making you feel really, sad. And so then it's going to lead to actions where you're not going to want to show up and present yourself like you normally would, which leads to more thoughts of, why am I even here? Right? And then you're feeling even more low, right? It can just perpetuate whichever way you'd like to go versus I am trying my very best and I would like to do better, but I'm trying my very best. And so that gives feelings of hope, right, for a better outcome. And then your willingness in action would be to show up and just try. Hope that things might be okay if you just show up. So you show up there and you gather more evidence to support more thoughts of, I can do this. This is really hard and I'm not doing it perfect, but I'm still showing up. And so I continue to build these feelings of like, I am worthy of continuing this. And so I'll keep doing actions to support that. And it just, whichever way you'd like to go with it, basically that confirmation bias. We both are experiencing a concert at the same time. And, she loves the band and I've never heard of them, but she's having this great time enjoying herself. And I'm over there like, yeah, they're okay. We both experienced the exact same thing, but because I had a bias ahead of time that I didn't really know them and probably wasn't sure that I'd really love it, is going to affect that full outcome versus hers where she's like, this is going to be awesome because she said it's going to be awesome, right? It's a thought she's had. And so I think that's really similar in how grief can influence us. Like, I think like, I don't know, call it whatever you want, your conscience or whatever, like Satan trying to like influence you and make you feel bad. But when you allow the thoughts that are negative to dwell, it'll continue to develop feelings that are negative as well. And then actions that are negative, right? And so I think it's really a powerful tool when we can sit there and look at our thought process and kind of try to give ourselves the antidote to a lot of that suffering by just trying to look at things. And this isn't like toxic positivity where you're like, it's okay, he only beats you sometimes, so it's not that bad, right? Like, no, it's not like that. It's more just trying to seek what you want to see, which, light and goodness would be a good thing, but I think it's whatever you want to do. If you want to look for the negative, you'll find it. You'll find that evidence to support that.
All I know is when I posted Chad's episode, I had not a lot of feedback because it's just brutal.
Yeah.
But I sent you some of the messages I got. But I got some really powerful messages. Like Chad having the guts to talk about pills and talk about what he did.
Amen. I was proud of him.
He has made a significant... Let me just give you an example. There's a family, not from Utah. The daughter of the family, same thing. Leaving the house, backs over her younger sibling, kills him. The mom of that family listens to Chad's story and sends me this beautiful message. Basically what you said, like when you were fighting seconds at a time, like just trying to get by through the seconds and the hours. Like that's where she was. Like, I don't know how we're going to do, she's hurting. But the message and Chad just putting his heart out there and being honest has really impacted people I agree. In a huge, life-changing way that only Chad could do. No one else.
Certainly, yeah.
You could choose the smartest guy that knows everything about grief. He couldn't say a damn thing to that family. That would help, I think. Like, Chad could.
Yeah.
And so, that's one thing I learned through podcasting is these stories that we're sharing, they are unique and rare, thank goodness. Like, the masses usually don't have to deal with this. But there's a small group of people that are hurting just like we are, with very similar stories. And I just talking about it, and so I don't know what the perspective of you guys is all the time. I don't know what the perspective of Chad is, if he just thinks he's this loser or whatever, but a real true hero to many people. And I just feel like Chad needs to know that.
I agree. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I think there's, and I'm going to change battery real quick because we're going to lose the audio on this, but I do have something I want to say. The reason I wanted to like bring up Chad is because I've seen it in my own life where not even intense trauma, but just disruption of my life. I'm like, oh, like that coping mechanism, like here, like this one again, like just like my little buddy that comes back and is like, oh yeah, we're back here again. And being vocal about coping mechanisms, I think is incredibly brave because there's so much shame attached to the way that we numb. And depending on your method of coping, probably has a lower or higher level of shame within society.
It does.
Which is really funny because when you think about it, we're all doing the same thing. The vehicle by which we're doing it is just different.
Yes, that is so true.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, this guy, he's the pills, this person, the food, this person, the sex, this person, the work. But, you know, no one's putting the person, the workaholic on blast.
Same thing, though.
But you're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. You're running away and you're numbing and you're coping, and I get it. And in a lot of cases, like if that's what you need to do to survive, we do need to allow some grace. But the people that are closest to you and that love you the most, you need to vocalize like your coping mechanisms. And be like, hey, when my life gets disrupted, this is my favorite sweet treat. This is what I go to. And so if you know that and the people that you love know that about you, they can kind of see it. And it's not that you need to correct course immediately because, again, give them grace.
That's not what I was, suggesting.
Because if you try to correct course immediately, like they're probably going to kick back.
Mm-hmm.
But be aware because the whole point is we want to help people through hardship and grief. And if they're digging a deeper and deeper and deeper hole, it's going to be harder to get out of.
For sure.
And so eventually there needs to be some type of, hey, I love you. I also need you to know that I see what's going on. And I don't necessarily need you to stop right away. I'm going to love you and I'm going to show up for you regardless. But I see what you're doing.
And I love you enough to say something.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I had to develop, like, again, more boundaries around when is it appropriate to speak up and when is it not. And I think that what I have determined personally is that if someone is doing something dangerous or destructive, I don't care if you're a family member or a stranger on the street. If I see a kid walking out into the street, I'm going to grab their arm and pull them back, right? I'm not just going to be like, well, not their parents. So, right, you know, there's a certain duty as a human loving other humans to just be like, hey, I'm nervous for you. And even though you share that with them, they still have the agency to decide if they're going to do something different or not. And you have to allow that. But you should, at least, your responsibility is to speak up. And that is a loving thing to say, like, I love you and I really am worried for you. And so what that looked like for Chad and I think like one thing that's important to understand too, that's like helped me kind of empathize a little bit deeper is, you studied probably like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right?
Yep.
And so on all these different levels, like at the very bottom, we've got like, you know, food, air, right? Like we have these very basic things, right? And so everything that all of us do is to satiate a need. And so just because society doesn't accept that thing that you're doing to, satisfy that need doesn't mean that it's their place to judge if it's right or wrong. This is an individual journey for you to decide. And so I just want to put that out there, first of all, that I really feel like people that struggle with addiction, I think there's so much more than just that. You're not your addiction. There's something deeper. There's a deeper need that you're trying to satisfy through that format. And so I have a lot of love for people that struggle there because I know they're hurting deeply too. Different maybe than what, grief is like, but also struggling and trying to satisfy a need. I think that there are different outlets that are more useful. And that's what I think I would encourage, saying, have you tried this? Or, hey, would you like to come with me to this? Like, that's a helpful tool for someone that's really stuck in an unhealthy pattern, is to try and say, like, hey, come to the gym with me. Like, I'd like to go, something different that you can find to offer would, I think, be super useful. Because, like, for Chad, you asked how he changed. Why? Like, it was significant. And I can't remember if he shared it on his podcast or not. I kind of left a lot of those things for him to share because I just didn't want to overstep. But he basically, we got to like probably the lowest point in our marriage, in our family. Like, we had lost Natalie. I'm trying to think of exactly, 2017. So it's been 3.5 years since we'd lost her. And he had basically snorted like almost $500,000 up his nose, and everything that we had worked for was gone, and we had to move to try and find other employment. Like, we weren't gonna keep doing what we were doing. And so, obviously I'm thinking, well, let's move, because problems won't follow you if you move, right? That's great logic. So we move, we go to Idaho, and I'm thinking, great, fresh start. Like, he can get away from his dealer and we can start over again. So we get there.
There's no new dealers at the new place.
No, it's Idaho.
There's no drugs.
You guys, there's no. So we get to Idaho, and he's got this good job. It really felt like things happened the way they were supposed to. And I still don't regret going there. I'm not saying that that was a bad choice. I think we met some great people. I think it taught us a lot of things more than anything. It's just been educational. So I would say that through this journey with him, I don't know, experimenting with his, problems, I think it's been a very costly, educational experience. And it's a school I don't want anyone to ever have to go into. But I think as he, again, 6 months in or so, approaches this pivotal spot in the road where he's now been caught, because he doesn't typically, I guess maybe I'm intimidating. I've been told that he has a hard time telling me things, so I typically would find out. And so I find these signs again that he's using again, and I am super done, because we gave everything that we could into this move, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I didn't have a support system there. I didn't have him really there on my page, right? Like, it was a super difficult time to feel very alone. And so he loses his job, and it was on Halloween. I remember he had to work on Halloween, and they fired him the next day after he worked there. And I took the kids trick-or-treating all alone, and I just remember feeling I didn't yell at him or anything. I just was kind of I can't take much more. I can't, it felt really, I feel like I'm exempt from doing or feeling more things like this. And I'm doing everything that I can to try and fix this. So maybe I need to do the next loving thing, which is to say we're done. I'm not going to participate anymore, because I've tried fancy rehabs. I've tried moving. I've tried being understanding. I'm very patient. And even if you are hurting, this can't, I love you so much that I don't want to see you suffer more. And that was the gist of the conversation. And I ended up moving out actually for a time. I want to say 6 weeks, where I went and actually just lived with my parents because I had no money. I mean, we literally had spent everything. Like, it was all gone. And I'm feeling like it's hard to have hope when you're in that spot. And so Chad talks about this often, how Emma, as our oldest, has saved his life multiple times in different ways. Like, first being born, pulling him out of, that negative environment he was in, and pattern where he, was out of jail, him and I meet, and like it kind of pulled him out of that whole lifestyle then. And then just again, she shared, I can't remember, did he share about how when she was little and coloring and he didn't think that she was listening?
I think you did,
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So yeah, that time. And then again on her birthday, so the next month in December, on her birthday, he just says he had this really like big moment where he just realized, like, and I think he talks about this part too, where he says like he just felt like he couldn't stay anymore with me if he wasn't going to change. And so he just knew like if he couldn't change, he had to let us go. And so he was like, this is my, final time. I'm like literally done. It wasn't like he had something profound that was said. It was just this moment where he's like, my wife is leaving me. Like, these things are all changing and I have to step up and be better. And he comes and tells me, yeah, I'm done, and I'm of course like, sure, kind of heartless about it and didn't believe him. But he was like, look, we don't have any money here. I'm going to take you home. And I just remember just sobbing then, just feeling like, yeah, like, let's go back there. Like, we'll go back to Utah. And still, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm hoping like what he says is true, but I also feel like I have to be honest with myself and like really face that. And so we come back to Utah and like little by little, he's able to like prove over time that like what he said is what he meant. And let's see, that was December 2017. So it'll be 8 years this December. And he's had multiple issues where he, like when he broke his elbow again, he could have gotten back on pills again. And he hasn't, and he's built things up to where like he's able to be pretty much semi-retired. Like, to me, I find that miraculous that he can change. Like, it just is proof and evidence that like no matter how hard you think a moment is or how like far gone you are, like there is hope and there is a possibility for good things to happen again. Even like that. So I feel like our life is completely different than it was back then. It's a long answer to your question. I'm sorry. Anyways, I just didn't get a comment back after Chad shared everything, and I'm just like, I'm so proud of him. He's just doing amazing, and yeah, he doesn't give himself enough credit for how hard that is. And yeah, for the men, like it's totally different. Like, I have guilt of not caring for being able to protect Natalie, and he has his own set that's completely different. Like, I remember when your husband, I didn't know he was your husband at the reunion for Brad.
He wasn't.
Well, let me say that again. I didn't know that was Keaton's dad.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
But I saw him there, and felt like I could just feel that he had like a deep love for whoever he's there for. Mm-hmm. I could just sense it. Like, it was crazy. I was like, I don't know who you are, but I know that like you love whoever that is deeply. Mm-hmm. And like the fact that he was there to like be mature and support you through that, again, just shows love for you too. Yeah. And I thought it was so beautiful. Like, my husband was out in the car with the kids so that we didn't have any chaos or less chaos with them in there. So I just admired that, because I just thought he
and I are definitely united in caring about each other and about that's a shared experience that no one else has lost Keaton as a parent
or knew him,
and again, he was our one together, and we were both a little bit older, and so there was we love every single one of our children, and we're so much. And also, when you lose a child, they hold a special place too, you know? And so I'm glad that we've been able to continue to support each other
Like
during.
connect over him still. That's good. I do think that's really beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what he would want, right? Like
Oh,
he would want
100%.
that. He'd
Yeah.
want to know that like when you think of him, he brings like unity to you.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
for sure.
I did have a few other questions if you're okay. Can I ask mine? Is that okay?
Yeah. You guys are amazing, by the way. This is
Oh, do you feel like, okay, just because you have older kids too, but I feel like my oldest, she's asked me this before. She doesn't want to have kids because she partially has fear around, and I think this is also her generation too. Like they've just kind of become like, it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's difficult. Like it's,
They're actually smarter about going about it than we were. We just kind of had
Yeah.
kids. You just get married and you have kids, right? Yeah, you figure it out. Whereas they're like, wait a minute.
live off ramen.
Yeah,
It's okay.
exactly. And love.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think that I do appreciate that. Like, I feel like I'm glad you're mature and you're trying to really process these things, but I do kind of feel like I feel bad that that is one thing. As resilient as children are through these situations, I think that that is something that is carried over that I've noticed with my kids, that they have a fear of like
I think
failure. Like I
think different kids have had different reactions to that. I think our oldest, she carries that fear with her. Whereas maybe the middle one, she's got 3 little boys now, and she kind of just, she's very, it's interesting to watch them parent. They're very controlling, like as far as
safety.
safety, which is, I mean, which you should be anyway, but maybe a heightened awareness of around that.
Okay, so that leads me to the next question I had. And this is one that I think I have struggled with. And I have a little bit better of an answer, but still, I think that it's tricky. How do you feel like, how do you gauge what is enough as a parent? You know, versus like it's pretty obvious. Most people know like being a helicopter parent, trying to hover and prevent everything is wrong. Your kids won't learn anything if you do that. Yet on the other end of the pendulum, where you have parents that are like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, it's a
Just
community
whatever.
thing that everyone will fill in and I don't need to do anything. I'd rather watch my show than parent. Obviously, both aren't appropriate in our role as a parent. But how do you know when you're doing enough?
I don't know that I ever felt as a parent that I was doing enough. Like, I don't
Right?
know. Yeah, I don't. And I think that the older I've gotten, the less trying to be enough I've gotten. And I feel like there's a little part of me that's like the difference between how I parented like my daughter, because I was single with her for 5 years before I married Scott, and then how I parented Keaton, because I was a little like that was 8 years down the road and I was a little bit older, and I let him do a lot more stuff than I let her do because she was my oldest and I was trying to like control. And I think a nice happy medium. I really admire parents who let their kids try stuff and
Yeah.
get out there and like my
And buy the dirt bike.
and buy the dirt bike and like because what I learned honestly is that no matter how, because I know for a fact that my ex-husband he was a stickler for safety and he did everything he could, and they were driving that boat 11 miles an hour. It was not, they were tubing. It wasn't, stuff happens.
It totally
Stuff
does.
happens, and I really believe in my heart of hearts that that because of agency, we choose when we come and we choose when we go. And so I don't know, and I believe that we have say in some of our, and experiences and what we are here to learn. And I've become a lot less controlling, I guess. I kind of allow life to unfold the way it unfolds. And it takes the pressure off, to be honest with you.
It
I'm
does.
a lot more
You find that just
in the moment. Yeah. And I feel a lot more powerful not worrying about what's going to happen in the future.
For sure. Especially knowing like these were gifts from God. Like I believe like my kids came to me at the time when they needed to come, and I can't imagine having to make the call of when they'd have to leave.
No.
Right? Like
Yeah.
that, can you imagine that burden that God has to be like, I know that me taking this child back home is going to hurt another child that I love. Like, as a parent, I can't imagine doing that.
Yeah.
And so I think, like, knowing that he's trying, if we could see that full picture, like I said, my story, I love, you know, good news, bad news, who knows? Like, you can't see all of that. And so right now, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense why that happens. But I think knowing that they were his first, and he's going to call them home when he's ready to, and we have no control over it. We get to decide what we're going to wear, but very minimal things do we get to decide. Like, we like to believe that we have this like element of power and control, but we can control so little.
No, so little.
So very little. And so kind of accepting that, I think, is peace and powerful.
Yeah.
To be like, I can do this. Like, I can be okay with it that way. Okay, would you do it all over again?
100%.
Mason, that might be a little harder.
Yeah, I have not been through what you've been through, Mason. I have not been through.
It's a tough question. I would definitely do it again in the sense of, is that the only way I know them and
Right.
see them? Then obviously, yeah. But if there's a different way to go about this, and we can be together, then yeah, I would definitely change it. And I would definitely change being in the car.
Well, sure.
Even if we all die, like, okay, like I can live with that a little bit better. But
Same. I think that's...
that will help me a lot. But what about you, Kim?
She said she was saying she would.
Again. No,
She would.
I would.
I would do it again.
I would do it again.
Just to, if that's the only way I would know her. Or
Yeah,
him.
and same with
Or
Keaton.
them.
But and also I've learned so much about myself, and because I believe that it's all purposeful. And again, I'm 12 years down the road now. So I have this idea that we're all in this together, and that whatever sacrifice he made to like leave when he did, or like it was I wouldn't trade who I am right now to not have that experience. And I know that sounds really kind of maybe callous as I'm saying it, but I believe that he's really proud of me. And I've seen some shit. Like, I don't know how much of my story you even know.
I learn something new every time I talk. Yeah.
Yeah. Keaton was probably the most devastating thing, but it also comes in a long line of stuff that I've experienced.
You're well acquainted with
I'm well acquainted
challenge.
with challenge and grief from a young age. And so I'm really at peace with it. I'm really at peace with the fact that we're here to experience, to learn and to grow. And I don't know how else to explain it. I just really am at peace. And there's one situation in my life that I would go back and do, but it's because I acted out of integrity. It's not bringing Keaton back.
I think that's really good. Really good. I think that it's also worth noting, like, earlier when we first started out, you were saying, I think Mason maybe asked, like, how long has it been?
Mm-hmm.
And don't you think it's interesting how, like, you say 10 years, right? I'm like, almost 11. How long has it been?
4.
Okay.
So,
but in the beginning, you're counting hours.
That's right.
Then you're counting days.
Yep.
Then you're counting months.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell you how many months it's been.
Like a
Weeks,
Wednesday,
yeah.
was
every
when
week. Same.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Hers is on Wednesday. But yeah, I think that is a good indicator of where you're at when you are past going, wait, I just realized I'm not counting hours anymore. So I think it's very subtle, the progress that people make But when you're finally like, I'm counting years now, I mean, you made it through this super, it's almost, and not that it's the same. I'm just trying to think of like something to relate it to, but I'm like, when you're in labor, right?
Yeah.
Like more or less,
Yeah.
like you're like, holy cow, like I made it through that.
I did it.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe
And you
I did
literally
that.
feel like queen of the world. Like, oh my gosh, no other woman has ever done that. But there's nothing like it, right? But there isn't anything like it. We can
Yes.
both attest to that.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah.
And then I'll shut up, and then you guys can take us home. We can wrap this up with whatever else you want. But you guys were talking about Brad earlier,
Yeah.
like an hour ago,
Mm-hmm.
Too.
and Brad's a man.
Oh man.
And I just think it's so funny because you guys were just talking about how much it meant to you guys that Brad shows up with this bear. And just knowing Brad and talking to him, like, it's so funny because he feels so dumb and stupid.
He does.
And questions
He does.
the whole ride over.
Yep.
Is this okay? Like, I don't want to.
He's been doing this for 12 years and he's still questioning it.
Like, both sides of that happen is so, like, wow. Like, if these two could just open up and share, like, and just,
Right.
like, coming from two totally different.
Yep.
Anyway, I just have
It doesn't matter how much you tell him though.
Yeah.
He still goes, no, it's just a no. And I'm like, you might as well just own it, dude.
So sorry for completely.
I think Chad would say that, though. Like, I think that anybody that has done something challenging, but maybe is more natural to them, I think that it's easy for them to dismiss it, right?
That's fair.
Like, because Chad's like, no, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But I'm like, no, I'm really proud of you. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't think you could do it. And I was like literally your cheerleader for so long. You did a great job. Like, I think like it's just amazing. But okay, I had another question though. I just feel like with grief, how can I say it nicely? Okay. I
Don't.
hope that people face challenges. Maybe not loss like this, but I hope that life is challenging because I feel like it gives you depth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like have you ever studied, do you know James Fowler? You ever heard of him? He's a psychologist that is like world renowned, highly regarded by lots of other faiths. But he basically did this, and I don't know if he's Catholic. I feel like I should know better before I'm sharing this, but he basically studied these different, he calls it stages of faith. And so like at stage 0, you're like in infancy and your faith is very like simple. It's that I cry, my guardian's going to come and attend to me. And you kind of build that faith and trust as you participate in that, right? Then it evolves to stage 1, which is essentially in like childhood when you're it's more that mythical faith where you're like, believing if I pray for a pony's going to show up at my front door, right? Like it's more this just like
Santa Claus fantasy.
Yeah, just very, just obviously childlike faith. And so then stage 2 is something that's like more in adolescence, I'd say, but maybe like teen. And I think it's more where you're mimicking what has been done before, right? And so your parents, they pray, so you pray. Like you're just more or less modeling what was done before. And I feel like when I look at that, I think that a lot of people actually get very stuck in that modeling phase where they're like, I'm just mimicking what was done with me or done before. Not necessarily because I have like this deep belief in it, right? Like you've just done it because you were told to do it, not because you know why.
And you've been conditioned to
right?
do it. Mm-hmm.
And so when something challenging happens or tragic happens, all of a sudden that's brought to the surface and you have to go, what do I think of this? What do I actually believe? And it's you're not playing anymore and you have to really decide that. And for me, I had to go, okay, I either believe in these things or I don't. And I need to know what that means when I say I believe in that. And I think that's so powerful because I think a lot of people call it like a faith crisis or they call it like, I don't know, they just think you're rebellious or whatever, but I encourage it. I hope that my kids all challenge things so that they are able to really establish a firm foundation. Because the next stage is that you are challenging those things. You're in stage, what did I go to? 3. So yeah, 3, 3, 4. So you're, you're able to finally question those things and be able to find the answers. And I believe that is part of what we're supposed to do here. You're not supposed to just blindly follow and be like, yep, I'll go with that. That's a good, I don't know, looks good enough to me. But like really you've done the work. So then it evolves from there to where you've accepted those beliefs, you're immersing them into your life. And it is kind of this piece of like, this is who I am. I'm still working to be better, but this is where I am. And I feel like that next stage is so beautiful because it is a lot more accepting and loving. It's a more loving stage and brings a different peace where you have more of an open mind to things. The next and I guess final stage, I hope I'm not skipping one. Final stage is people that through and through, all they do, eat, sleep, breathe, everything is through faith, right? Like think of like Mother Teresa, like Martin Luther King, like people that are just so good and all they want to do is serve 24/7. And that is something like I think majority of people can never attain, but it's a beautiful thing that you try to think of those people as good examples and things like that, but not, I don't know. I liked studying that. And I think that it's really relevant because it helps you kind of understand where you're at and that it's not right or wrong, right? We're just all trying to learn through these different stages. And I think that's kind of like the point of why we're here. And so through grief, like I feel like it brings that up, right? Like it makes you face those things. And then from there, you have to ask these deep questions that I think most people are happy with the surface level. How are you, right? Like they just want to talk about very simple things because deeper things, that means I might have to change. That means I might have to do some hard work. I might have to face some fears. I might have, so they don't want to typically go deep. But I personally feel like through grief, it has made me want to highlight those things and ask those hard questions. Like, what am I doing? If I'm left here without Natalie, like, what am I doing here that's useful? Like, what is my purpose? And I think I would have never maybe asked that any other way. Like, do you feel that way? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
It does. No, go ahead.
No, I totally making sense what you're saying. And I like this stage is just working the stages you talk about with grief. Like I think it works for grief. Like you're in this you don't know phase. Like what is this? And this childhood like type of thought process that might not be true at all. But you're just trying to get familiar with this grief. And then kind of what you said, Kimberly, like someone says you're doing good, you're like, okay, I guess I'm doing good. Like you just copy what you've seen. Like, I don't know how to grieve. And then you kind of ask questions. Like, like, what is this? What am I feeling? And then you get to, it just becomes your life. Like that stage 5, like you don't have to necessarily specifically talk to them about them to be thinking about them. Or like it just becomes this life within your life and you're just constantly connected to it. So that's kind of how I really like what you said. I was just breaking down. I think that's just my grief brain. Like every movie and quote and thing I see and watch, I just compare it to grief. Well, it's kind of like vacuuming. It's kind of like grief. Yep. It sucks. Like just like everything I'm doing.
You do. That's so natural.
Yeah. Like parables.
You're looking for meaning in whatever in life, wherever you can find it.
But I think that's why parables are helpful too. Like it's metaphorical in this sense, but obviously relatable because you can look at it and go, okay, I can apply it here and this is where it speaks to me and I can learn from that. Yeah. I can try to learn from it. I feel like. But I guess I had one last question. It's been a decade,
12 years.
What do you hope your future self is experiencing or looks like a decade from now? It's like I believe in vision boards and like trying to like have these positive affirmations for your future. And so I'm curious, like,
What's so interesting is that I have gone completely away from all of that.
of what you hope for.
No, of what, like, of trying to forecast or
Plan.
plan.
Yeah. Fair.
I'm really in this place of, I'm really curious to see what the universe has next for me. And I'm living day to day. I have things that I want to accomplish. I would like to reach more people with my message. I'd like to, I hope to be partnered again one of these days, but I don't have a specific way that I need it to look anymore because I kind of just, I don't know, I'm a little bit more at peace with whatever happens, and I'm just living my life with curiosity.
I think that's fair.
So
I think that's fair. I think that's a really good way to look at it. It's like almost the way to not feel disappointed, right?
yeah, but I'm not even
'Cause you
trying
can-
not to feel disappointed because I know that disappointment will come.
Anyway.
And I like, and it's okay because I've gotten through it. And also I know that joy will come, and I know that love will come, and I know that sadness will come, and I know that it'll all come. And there's not a whole heck of a lot that I haven't already faced. So
yeah.
come what may.
But 10 years ago, that version of you,
Didn't exist.
wouldn't have probably thought this is where you'd be.
No.
Right?
No.
I mean, don't you have to, that version has to be like,
The triple no.
good job. Like, you've got to just give your past self is like,
Yeah.
are you sure?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But
I don't know.
and my
all.
past self probably would have judged the shit out of this self of me because I had a real idea of the way things should be and
It's
should go.
the
And
recovering perfectionist in us.
completely. And
Or
now I'm
people
like,
pleaser.
but I think she'd be really proud of, again, my resilience and that I am at peace.
Yeah. Don't you think when you experience, especially this kind of critical type of loss, like sometimes when it's maybe like health related and you lose a child that way, there's a little bit less blame on as a parent, probably. I'm just thinking. But like when it's something at this level, I almost feel like you experience like embarrassment or like, yeah, kind of like a public ridicule that makes you almost bulletproof. Right? Like,
Yeah.
I've already heard the worst things.
Yeah.
I've already heard people hate me.
Yeah.
How much worse can it get? Like,
Well, and I've lived through the loss of a child. How
Yeah.
much worse can it get?
well, yeah, but I'm just saying that both with that, I feel like it gives you this almost like superpower in a sense that you're like, I've done some hard stuff. I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
Throw what you want at me, but I've done the hard, like, in my opinion, the hardest thing that there is,
Yeah.
losing a loved one or
Yeah.
several. Like, I don't know. Mason, you're amazing. I don't know.
And I want to also, like, in case someone is listening, that, you know, losing a loved one, that is the obvious sort of grief, but there's also grief in disappointment, in lost jobs, in there's grief in
Different
divorce,
formats,
and
yeah.
like all of the different,
Yeah, for
right.
sure.
And so grief comes in many forms, and everyone is going to experience grief in some form. And again, there's just kind of no rules around it. There's no right or wrong way. And grief is grief. And not comparing grief is really, really important because you never know what
No.
someone's been through.
But I would say that we are all, as humans, broken, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people are better at hiding their brokenness than others. But we're all broken.
I
And
don't think that anymore.
you don't think everyone's broken?
Yeah.
I think that none of us are perfect, is what I'm saying. You know, like you're not a perfect whatever. And so we have these pieces that we're trying to essentially build and fill in. It's like that Japanese, that kintsugi, where they fill it, right?
Beautiful.
I feel like that's what we're doing here. Our work here is like we are these broken people here trying to just fill in the gold. and make it a beautiful creation in the end. Like that's, to me, I feel like that's our purpose here, is to just become better. Not better than anyone else, but just better. Like try
And
our best.
see the beauty in the gold.
Yeah.
See the beauty in the, like, again, when you wouldn't trade the brokenness, it's what makes me human. And I think there's divinity in humanity. And I think we're here to learn through our experiences. And yeah. So
Yeah, I
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I did, when you were talking about like wanting to do something, like I definitely think you being brave and coming on here was different than, like you said in the beginning, you weren't comfortable doing that kind of a thing. But now you're open to doing more. One of the things I had a hard time with was affiliating with Spot the Tot,
Interesting.
because I felt like by me affiliating with them, it's me saying that essentially there was safety practices.
Nobody was spotting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no one-
wasn't
yeah,
doing
you were
my job.
negligent.
So it's me. So I had to get over that and be like, listen, maybe my sister-in-law actually said this to me. She's like, maybe it's not that you're affiliating with them because you were neglectful. You're affiliating with them because you experienced something relatable that could educate other people through your loss. And so it kind of gave me permission to like process that and then accept it. And so it's kind of helped me evolve to like this different thought process. And I was thinking about you specifically, like, I wonder, like, is there a like chain or something out there? Like I'm picturing, like, you know how those leashes like they have for little kids when they're like
They can
really
that
wandering.
can-
Is there
oh,
one that's like
interesting,
for
like
a
safety boat thing.
Right? Like,
Interesting.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I wonder if we could like, because I've thought about developing like a easy, comfortable helmet that would be fun for a kid to wear. Like, I don't know. I've just thought like maybe through that experience, you're able to develop something,
That's a really good idea.
right? So I don't know. We'll have to talk about it more later. But I was just trying to say, like, use what is available to you, the opportunities, the challenges. And I think that that's what becomes such a genuine journey for you, is when you can use those things to provide good for others. I think that's a beautiful, like, full circle thing. Sorry, you're tapping over there, ready to go. Okay. Anyways, I think that's mostly everything. Other than, did you have any movies you wanted to change? Because
No.
last time I forgot my favorite one after I left. Right after I left.
Right? I know I walked
And it's
out.
bugged me for over a year.
Say it right now.
Princess Bride.
Okay. It's a good one.
Love that. It's just so pure. It's pure. So pure. So yes, that is probably one of them. That's mainly the one that I wanted to add. But yeah, I have all kinds of notes, but I feel like we're probably.
You guys are just gonna start your own podcast. That's where we're going.
I don't know if I'm
No.
trying to bite off
Me
more.
either.
I remember one of Kimberly's movies.
Which one?
It was like it was an '80s film, some kind of
Wonderful. Yep.
I love that.
Wait, what was it?
So I wrote the name down to go, and I was like, I've never watched
Yeah,
this.
it's definitely cheesy 80s, but it's so good.
They just don't make them like that
No,
anymore.
they don't.
Oh, you can't. You got movies you like?
Nope. I don't like any movies.
You don't like movies?
No, I do.
Okay.
I love movies. I do love movies, but I don't have I'm trying to think. I think I've watched Crazy Stupid Love over and over again.
Well, that one's good.
There's like a few of them that I can like watch, but I actually probably watch TV shows over and over again instead of movies. So.
Okay, I did think of one more question. Sorry.
Mhm.
What? Okay, you each had to experience this to different degrees, but when you lose somebody, no one talks to you about the like what's left behind, right? Like Natalie had her like favorite blanket.
Yeah, I actually had that question in my head. So continue. I love
Do you
that.
want to ask? Okay, you can ask it too. But all I was going to say is like, I put away all of these things and like, obviously I was going to like, I don't know, provide a shrine or something. I kept everything. I kept a fruit leather that she bit into that I found. Like I kept like so many things and I still have some of those. I have her favorite blanket, like her very favorite blanket that she went nowhere with. Like she left that here. And so I think, it made me really question, like, there's things that had value. Most of it's sentimental, but some of it had value. And I think we leave here with our education, maybe our little, like our experiences, our memories, right? Our relationships that we build with people, our little testimonies, like that's all we take. That's all our kids take with them. So what is it that we are giving our kids that's useful? Do you think that ever? Do you think about like, what am I actually giving them that's useful? Or do you want to talk more about putting away their things that's...
No, I just was thinking about that the other day because I'm going through stuff and like, how much of this stuff do I need? Like, this isn't who he is. What have I, like...
It's more like a want
Yeah.
than a need.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Right?
Right. And it's just stuff. But
it's his stuff.
But it's his stuff. I think I want my kids to carry with them the love that I have for them and the faith that I have for them, and that I am proud of them no matter what they do or don't do. And because I think at the very end of the day, it literally is all about love.
It is.
So
isn't that so funny how you can simplify it?
Yeah, it's just
based off of that. Like, it's about connection. Life is about connection, unity, love, understanding. Yeah. And arbitrary. I don't know. I think that question of, are we doing enough? Like, we are already enough. You're enough as it is. Like, we're doing enough if that's what we could do in that moment, even if it's a small, that's enough. But I think one thing that helped me answer that is the and statements. Have you ever applied those? Like when you don't know enough about maybe, or you do know something that you're like, maybe a paradox. This is a good like example. Like, say like, I don't know enough about this topic yet, and I still can choose to believe this or live this way, right? Like, kind of, I felt like before it was, I'm very black and white. Yes, I am very particular. If this happens, that means, well, the world's over, right? Like, to me, I just had a very like all or nothing perspective. So applying an and statement to like, this person may have done this bad thing, and I still can choose to participate in this or whatever, right? Like, I think it's helped me
becomes much more gray area
when you can apply it like that. Yeah. So I don't know. I just wanted to add that last little bit, but I think that because I overshare, she should do your segment to let this.
You didn't overshare. I didn't overshare.
When you're ready.
Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it.